Or the Koi boy is gonna be jealous of this one.
Oh, this is so hard, bro. Sup, you killers. Sup, you killers. Welcome to your reading. Self-express. What the frick? Normally this is my good side, but I'm breaking out because I ate things I was allergic to. I couldn't resist the Kit Kat. Sorry. Okay, so I've been receiving a lot of mangoes and squash lately. And so because of this certain energy, like floating above the heaviness, I was like, well, let me find out. So mango is considered the golden fruit, and it represents love, happiness, abundance, fertility, new beginnings, and creation. The squash represents growth, abundance, fertility, spiritual growth. And for the past few months now, I've been like steadily receiving mangoes and squash, and the avocados are coming next. So when we have an overgrowth of crop, when we have surplus, what do? We share, we give. And sometimes even then, that person is meant to share or figure out how to use that abundance without it going to waste. And so for the mangoes, obviously like smoothies, and you can blend it up and put it into a dessert and make pancakes or something. But the squash I struggled with. I was like, I don't really know. And yeah, you can make like soups and this and that, but I was looking for something different to do with the squash. And actually, I made blood meat, which I forget what it is in the language, because Filipino isn't a language. It's either Ilocano or Tagalog, but the name of the dish, and I know there's other dialects too, please you guys. But I actually put the squash in there, and it like it soaked up the flavor, like it and then it made it like healthier too, like you're gonna consume less meat because you're adding the squash in there. So anyway, God is being brought back into your homes. God is being revealed to you from multi sources. Realizing that God has many shapes and forms, but that energy and that love is undeniable. That personal connection that you have with God is undeniable. And when we realize that it's not something that we have to defend because we know that it's our truth, or if you're atheist and you believe in yourself and you trust yourself and the way things go or whatever, and you know that's your truth, then nobody can knock you off your feet. Major heart operations spiritual surgery, heart, solar plexus, removing of the cap from the crown chakra, and attentive care to the feet, maybe a little bit of reflexology there. Got like 2 little bundles here. Well, this is not a little bundle, but because your truths come from your experiences and what you have learned, right? So as long as it's not a dehumanizing ideology, which if you are struggling with that, the thighs are the place to go. The thighs are the things you want to care for. Thighs and feet, squash and mangoes. Okay? That's the train we're riding on. Crown, heart, solar. That makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. The higher conscious card comes out. Higher consciousness. Higher conscious. Knowing that you don't have to conform to other people's beliefs or whatever, like just to exist with them and experience it and learn from it and show up in the way that you knew you were always capable of doing. The bridges are built in the vulnerability. So if you are not vulnerable, there might be some pieces missing, there might be some disconnects, and more than likely you and the other person are worried about the same thing. If just one person can overcome their fear and step back into the connection with that energy, then both fear is diminished equally. Ooh, hidden behind the dream. Dream represents releasing things that no longer serve, mindsets that no longer serve, but can also represent your dreams, because I'm Brianna and I don't really follow the rules. So bringing your world together so that you can help other people feel strong and empowered in their world. So then all of the working pieces can unclog and the machine can function. No sense in no sense in adding oil to a gear that doesn't turn, that doesn't shift, that won't rotate. The oil doesn't always remove the block. The oil can help maintain, but the true work is the cog. The true work is detaching from other people, other ideas, and really sitting with yourself and your divines to figure out what you truly want, what really resonates with who you truly are. And trusting that similar people or really different people can relate to that. Community can relate to that and accept it and accept you for who you are, because if something truly is a core belief for you and is rooted in love and light and is taught to you by God or the divine or your mentors, your family, the roots, the land, then who am I to argue? Who is anyone to argue with your truth? Que no? No more questioning yourself, like, what do I have to change? Like, how do I be better? None of that. Because you are walking in alignment. The fact that you are questioning things and are open to receiving things and releasing things keeps you on the right path. It keeps you on the right path. It keeps you successful, keeps you stable, keeps you open. So you don't have to try to change. Arc protection, psychic healing. You don't have to try to change. The change is just part of the flow. Like, going with the flow is to accept change is inevitable. That change happens in seconds. The weather changes throughout the day. And have you ever noticed that some people get really pissed off about that? Like, it's sunny, then it's rainy. It's sunny, then it's rainy, which is valid. But the point is that I'm trying to show you is that is an initiation process in itself to be able to flow with that patience, to not question yourself in a negative, self-doubty kind of way and then get stuck there. Always to release. From now on, from here on out, always to release. And your personal beliefs doesn't mean that you necessarily pick a side. Because if you have beliefs that are rooted in everyone matters, that, you know, people deserve forgiveness and love no matter what, and that there are just better, more or less violent ways to handle things. That if we communicate, there doesn't have to be war. If we can sit down and receive, there doesn't have to be war. The compromise then comes naturally. As one person talks, as one person talks, as one person talks, as one person talks, and they're all having this conversation in safety, security, non-violence, patience, no judgments. And slowly, we begin to see each other as people again, as humans, souls, intuition. Reconnecting with that cleansing your intuition so that you can be the leader that you deserve. There's gonna be new abilities, new forms of divine communication, new opportunities for healing that are gonna seem like the past repeating itself, but it's actually, can you handle this now? And the answer is yes. Duh, right? The journey of self-love, really mending your relationship with yourself and feeling confident in that, and not swaying, seeing what is true for you and expressing it, whether you might be right or wrong to somebody else, it doesn't matter, because if you don't share, you don't get their response. And then you don't get any new information. You take away that opportunity for someone to heal sometimes. And we do it to ourselves as well when we're too hard on ourselves, when we're mean to ourselves, when we're judging ourselves. We keep ourselves within a matrix, within a jail of itself, an emotional jail, a mental jail, because at a certain point, you heal to, you ask why, and you go back in time to what did people do for therapy back in the day? How did people communicate back in the day? And yeah, you bridge it to the modern world. I'm not saying go full on back, but I mean, that's kind of like what people do when they live off grid, when they live out in the country. And there are communities like that. So no matter where you land on that scale of balance of how much connection you would like with every single thing in the world around you, first of all, it is possible to break free. You are not crazy for having the dreams, the visions, the wishes, the wants that you do. You absolutely deserve them, especially if they're coming from a pure-hearted place. And there's people out here supporting you, even if they want something different. Because in the end, we all need each other. We all need to work together. That is the only way we can truly grow. We can truly be happy. We can truly find joy. We might not be alive to see the change. We might not be here to see the change. Unless you got your eyes wide open, all three of them. Okay, damn, that's what's up, I guess. Ooh. Before books, before writing, there was language. Before language, there was body communication. Connecting with those, balancing those out, and loving them. Loving every part, seeing that you're not something that really truly needs to be healed anymore. You're seeing that you've been healed. And so a little bit of anger might come up towards the people who tried to tell you otherwise, or to tell you that your healthiness was toxic. When you were the blessing the whole motherfucking time.